Pay attention to this damage. But first, okay, now pay attention to this damage. It's insane. And we're gonna do the math afterwards. I want y'all to like really pay attention to how much I really supercharge this mug. Energizer Bunny this goddamn super. Okay, we got 49,025. Let me do the math real quick. That did 73,537. And if you're wondering, is that a lot of damage? Pre-Edge of Fate, that would equate to 3.6 million. That's a lot of damage. And if you're wondering how we finna get a lot of how we just did a lot of damage like that with Archrider, come check it out. What up, guys? Alchemist saying something nice for you. So today we are running a build you've probably seen before, but I promise you I got information about the build that makes it better, that you never heard before or seen before. So just stay with me, okay? So a viewer, one of you guys, told me that melee stat improves the damage of supers that do melee damage. So this includes Silk Strike, but also Archrider on hunters. So I wanted to make a build that has max super stat and max melee stat to make Archrider do dumb damage like y'all just seen with the beginning footage. So first we're rocking the exotic Raiden Flux. So basically make it that the more hits you do with Arch Staff, the more damage it does and the longer it stays on. It goes up to 3 stacks. I'll probably put on the screen right now how much damage we're talking. And yeah, that's it. It's unga bunga, you know. Yeah, it's straightforward. Not nothing to think about. Just pop your super and swing. Do the light heavy combo, and you're good to go. Okay. And there's also a strat you can do too. If you do a light attack in the air first, and then go into your light heavy combo, you enchant some extra damage, way more than if you're just on the ground doing light heavy attack. But in this build, you see the drip. I got the Siva ornament on with Raiden Flux and rocking Outbreak Perfected. Come on now. We're back at it. All right, rocking Outbreak Perfected. Some of you guys already know, but Outbreak Perfected is the fastest super energy battery gun in the game. Okay, it generates the most super energy in the game. If you're wondering why, reason being, 2 factors make it that your super comes back quick: tick damage and amount of damage you're doing. Outbreak Perfected does both. Outbreak Perfected put out Siva nanites on enemies that does tick damage to them, and any enemy that got a Siva nanite on it, Outbreak Perfected do more damage to it. So Outbreak Perfected keep putting Siva nanites on an enemy that you keep shooting all day, and then it gets stronger and stronger as you keep shooting that same enemy, making it that your super just goes up very fast in mere seconds. Sadly, in this build, we don't have the solar shrapnels that help it that you get your super back in 10 seconds like we had in our Silk Strike build the other day with Prismatic, because this is a pure arc build. Our staff is not in Prismatic, so we have to go with arc. But now that I say that, I think I have to showcase you guys the artifact first before we get into the rest of the build and the weapons and stuff. So first things first, we got Fever and Chill that you gotta have on this build, because Fever and Chill make that you get solar Radiant from solar weapons or Stasis Frost Armor from Stasis weapons. Now, as I tell you guys all the time, the wording on that is not that good, because it tells you need precision shots, but in actuality, you don't need precision shots. You just got to get rapid kills, 3 to be exact. So as long as you get body shots on purpose, as long as you get 3 rapid kills, you'll get Radiant. And the same thing with Stasis. As long as you get rapid kills, 3 rapid kills within 3 seconds, you'll get Frost Armor. So don't let that Fever Chill artifact perk fool you. Just get rapid kills for solar weapon or a Stasis weapon and you'll get that. And then we'll be stacking this artifact perk with Raiden Shrapnel and Shield Crush. As you know, with Raiden Shrapnel, when you got Radiant on, it makes the solar bombs go out and hit enemies. The solar bombs, like I told you guys in my Silk Strike video, gives you a lot of super energy. When you pair that with Outbreak Perfected, you get your super back in like 10 seconds. Without it, it takes longer. But with it, super fast, as y'all seen in that video. And then we got Shield Crush on that make it that while you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Void Overshield on, your melee recharge faster and deal increased damage. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why did that matter? That's your melee damage. Like I said at the beginning, one of y'all amazing viewers told me that melee stat increases your super damage if your super is a melee super, roaming super. Our staff is that. So, Shield Crush does increase the damage of our staff. So, if you can figure out a way, and I'll show the footage right now on screen with the Frost Armor and stuff, Frost Armor or Void Overshield on while you're doing it. If you can find a way to have Frost Armor on or Void Overshield on in this build, no way to do Wolf and Mail, impossible. But if you can find a way to get Frost Armor or Void Overshield in this build, it'll make your Arch Staff Super do even more damage. Okay? So, what does this mean? There's multiple routes you can take with this build when it comes to weapons. Outbreak Perfected is going to stay our staple weapon in this build unless you're in an easy difficulty. If you're in an easy difficulty, then I highly recommend you swap out Outbreak Perfected and just go straight to Bad Juju. Bad Juju can get your super back quick without worrying about shooting one enemy constantly. You just kill multiple enemies and you're super back very quick in mere seconds without even having to worry about Outbreak Perfected loop. Okay, so that's the only trade-off I would say. But Outbreak Perfected is our main weapon in this build. You got super back quick. Your energy and your heavy gonna determine based on what you're going for. If you want Outbreak Perfected to give your super back quick in 10 seconds, so you want that Radiant to come on for 10 seconds, then you need to have a solo weapon in your heavy slot or energy slot that you can get a multi-kill with to get that Radiant prot and then start shooting Outbreak Perfected to super back quick against a boss or something, right? So you can pick a solar weapon in your energy or heavy slot. Second, Void Overshield. You can use something like Lotus Eater or Fortunate Star that had the stabilizer rounds on it with Repulsor Brace. So whenever you kill an enemy with stabilizer rounds, Repulsor Brace give you a Void Overshield for 10 seconds, and then you pop your super and fight while you got the Void Overshield on to make it that Shield Crest giving your Arch Staff more damage. Now, I don't recommend the Void Overshield, even though it is tankier. If an enemy hit that shield off while you're in the middle of Arch Staff, you lose that extra damage immediately because they can knock your Void Overshield off, so it won't stay on for the 10 seconds. But with Frost Armor, it stays on for the 10 seconds regardless of enemies doing damage to you. So then put on a stasis weapon in your build. I got on Ulterior Observation. I just get multi precision hits with this, or kill 3 enemies with the machine gun. I get Frost Armor, and then I pop Arc Staff, which y'all seen I did at the beginning footage. I got Frost Armor, then I pop Arc Staff. So the weapon choice up to you. If you change the super back quick with the Radiant and stuff on, or you just want that extra super damage with a Frost Armor on, you pick your poison. Okay, that gonna determine a lot of like the mods you put on this build as well when it comes to like surges and siphon mods and stuff. So that's the important artifact perks you want to have on. Shield Crush is very important to get that extra damage in your Arch Staff. I'm telling you guys, some y'all probably didn't even know that. Okay, y'all probably didn't even know that Shield Crush helps Arch Staff. Okay, so they got a unique thing you can do to make the damage go, as you seen in the beginning, up 10. Okay, that's how you get Frost Armor or avoid Overshield in this build to get that dumb damage for your Arch Staff. Okay, you don't have to just be like, oh, super stat only thing making my Raiden Flux do more damage. No, we can go even further beyond. Okay, Super Saiyan 3 reference. Alright, now, if you're wondering, okay, stats. I got 180 super stat, and then I just put on a super font mod in my helmet to give me that 200 when I pick up an Orb of Power. But then you probably don't have enough stats for your melee, right? You probably like, my melee is only like 125 like me. Then you put in font mods in your arm piece, you get like plus 40 to change that to like 160, right? What could you do to make it go up even higher? There is a perk in the game, just like Blast Distributor, that gives your grenade 65% 65 stat with Festival Flight that I told you guys about, that gyro. There is a perk in the game that gives you melee stats, but the difference is that it doesn't go based off of damage, it goes based off of kills. But it do stay on longer than Blast Distributor, okay? The only weapon I got that can showcase it is Ribbon Tail. And the perk is called Proximity Power. You've probably seen this perk drop on other weapons, okay? What it does is, the enhanced perk, if you get 3 stacks of it, you get plus 54 melee stat, okay? When you killing enemies with it. And you gotta be within 15 meters of the enemies, okay? Just to show you guys the perk proccing down here at the bottom. If I kill this Acolyte, you see proximity power popped up at the bottom. I killed another one, I get 3. Kill another one, 3 stacks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Stays on for about 10 seconds, okay? The perk stays on for 10 seconds. So you can hurry and get that 3 stacks for killing the enemies and then pop your super, and now you got 200 melee stat with your 200 super stat. So that's a weapon perk you can use if you are missing out on some stats in your build. So there you go, okay? I told you I'm gonna give y'all some information. These other people ain't telling y'all. I'm giving y'all the information, okay? All I ask for a like, okay, and a subscribe, okay? So there go the weapons options you can use. And those the stats you should be aiming for. You should be aiming for like 180 super, and then just throw a super fine in your helmet, so you have 200. And then your melee stat, if you don't have enough, you got that weapon perk, and you got font mods in your armor pieces. Okay, that's the stats you're going for. That's the weapons you're going for. That's the armor perks you're going for. Now the subclass itself, Arch Staff, of course. Gamblers die, so you get your melee back whenever you show Shade Step. We got combination blow on because it does power up Tempest Strike. Now that I told you guys that melee damage does get increased in this build for your super, sadly combination blow does not increase your super damage, okay? With Arch Staff, it does not do it, okay? So we just got combination blow for more neutral gameplay to make Tempest Strike broken in this build. Since you will be having 200 melee stat in this build, you might as well be using the broken Tempest Strike that can kill most enemies on its own already in combination blow. So we're rocking combination blow in this build. Post grenade, Tempest Strike, like I said, and then we got Ascension on to give us amplify whenever we want, and jolt enemies, okay? Also for the extra fragment slot. Fragments, we're rocking Spark of Frequency, so when we amplify, we get more bolt charges. We're rocking Spark of Discharge, so we can get a bolt charge from getting iron and traces off the ground, and arc weapons make iron and traces for us. We're rocking Spark of Beacon, so if you are rocking an arc weapon in this build, in case you decide you didn't want to do the solar or void stasis trick, you can use Indebted Kindness, something like that, and every time you get a kill with it, it'll do a blind explosion, blind enemies in the area. But if you are going with the strat I told you to make your arc staff do more damage, which I recommend, you put on Spark of Shock just so that your grenade do jolt to people, okay? Rocking Spark of Resistance for some more survivability and arc staff while we surround it, swinging on enemies and whatnot. And then we got on Spark of Ion, so whenever we kill a jolted target, we get an ion trace produced, okay? Very simple, very straightforward. Mods. We're rocking a super font, like I said, for that 200 stats, right? Your Siphon mod is going to be whatever weapon you're using. If you're using Solar, put on a Siphon, Solar Siphon. If you're not using that, Kinetic Siphon, using Outbreak Perfected. Arc Siphon, if you're rocking an arc weapon, Siphon's all based on what you're using, okay? RP's rocking melee fonts for the extra melee stat, and then rocking Focusing Strike so that we get some class ability energy whenever we do our melee damage, right? For Tempest Strike, if you're doing combination blow, then you know your class ability gonna come back. But if you're not using combination blow, then Tempest Strike will get some damage and give you some class ability energy. Chest piece rocking resist mods. Melee damage resistance is the main one because you're gonna be arch staff close to people and stuff. So you want melee damage resistance. The other resistance is all up to you. Leg piece, we're rocking kinetic weapon surge for Outbreak Perfected, and then your other surge is going to be based on whatever other weapon using your special weapon or heavy weapon. And then better already for survivability, pick up an orb, get our health regen and start going. Class item, rocking Reaper, so when we pop Ascension, we kill somebody with a weapon, make an orb for us. Distribution, so when we pop Ascension near enemies, we'll get our ability energy back for all our abilities. And then we got Bomber Run to get us some more grenade energy since the lowest stat in our build here. You also can have one Dynamo in your helmet if you have more energy for it. So whenever you pop your Ascension near enemies in the area, you'll get some super energy. But that's the full build. Again, just a quick overview. Super stat and melee stat over 100, they both buff up your arch staff damage. So you want to have both above 100, okay? Super first, then melee, because super give you the more gains of damage in PvE, okay? And then go for melee. Super should be 200 first before melee. That is your priority. Second, Shield Crush improves your melee damage in your super as well, making your super do more damage. And yes, that counts for the fourth palm too, the whole combo, okay? So, figure out a way to get Frost Armor or avoid Overshield in this build to make it do more damage. 3, get Radiant on if you want your super back quicker with Outbreak Perfected. Okay. And then lastly, no, that's everything. That's everything. So that's how you get insane damage in this build with your super. Our staff literally doing over 3 million damage pre-Edge of Fate if you over here putting on Frost Armor. And then if you got 200 melee in super stat, you're doing over 3 mil. You're going to be doing 4 mil. We hit 3.6 mil. You're definitely going to be doing 4 million if you got 200 melee and 200 super stat in this build. Okay, and you got that Frost Armor or Void Overshield going. You're definitely going to have it. And then also remember, you do have this weapon perk, Proximity Power, if you need help getting 200 melee stat. The enhanced version of this perk, make it that you get plus 54 melee stat. Plus 54, okay? That helps you a great deal to get that 200 melee stat. And yeah, there you have it. It stays on for like 10 seconds too. So there you have it. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. I know I told y'all some new information here. Go crazy with this build. Go ahead and make that art staff wreck every boss in the game, okay? If you're wondering what weapons I went with Albert Perfected, a Stasis machine gun for the Frost Armor, and then my energy slot. I love using my Dead of Kindness, but you can go a Lotus Eater. But I love using Dead of Kindness, which is some reason in my vault. But I love using Dead of Kindness with the vote shot and stuff, personally. That's what I enjoy doing. But that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. And until next time, stay up.